Hello everyone. Today I will illustrate how to set up an Omron RFID V680S-HMD64-EIP with machine automation controllers and series PLC. I am Trinh, Senior Application Engineer for Valin Corporation. Let's get started. I would like to go over the hardware layout of my system that I'm demonstrating today. So what we have here is all 3-in-1 RFID system. You have an antenna, the amplifier, and a controller in one box. This RFID system follows the ISO IEC 18000-3 and 15693. What that means is that these RFID tags are passive tags, and the power is transferred to the tag by a high-frequency magnetic field using coupled antenna coils in the reader and the tag, and the powering field frequency is 13.56 megahertz. So that means any RF tag that follow the ISO 18000-3 and 15693, our V680 RFID system should be able to read and write to it. So coming out of the V680 RFID system, there's a T connection here that comes with the unit. On one side, we need to supply 24-volt DC power to it. So that's what I have, a 24-volt DC power supply here. And this is the power cable to supply the power to the controller itself. On this side is the connection for the Ethernet cable. That's what will be used to connect to, in this case, is machine automation controller NJ501-1320. What I have here also is a Ethernet switch, so the cable from the antenna connect to the switch, and another Ethernet cable connect to the NJ501-1320, and another Ethernet cable connect to my laptop so that I can use the V680S configuration utility to configure the antenna and the controller. For example, my IP address, I need to give it 192.168.250.100 in this case. Yours may be different. And also, I have a Sysmax Studio software so that I can program my NJ501-1320. One thing to note on this V680S RFID system, it comes with 4 LEDs. And when you have a good communications, it will flash green to indicate that you have a successful communications. If it's failed to be able to communicate to the tag, or if there's no tag in front of the RFID head or antenna, it will flash red. So it's pretty good to be able to see this in 4 directions. What I'm going to show you next is the V680S configuration utility. So what you see here is basically the tool. If you click on status, it shows you what is the firmware that runs on that V680S. If you click on the network settings, this is where you can change the IP address, as well as subnet mask and the gateway address. For me, I have it 192.168.250.100. But what I want to show you is RFID tag communications. So in here, I can actually write to the tag as well as read from the tag. So let me put a tag in front of it. I'm going to clear this one for now. So if I put a tag now, I'm going to go ahead and say read the tag, and here we go. So what you see here is 35, 36, 38, 37. This is ASCII for that. And this is 5, 6, 8, and 7. I'm going to put another tag in front of it here and execute the read. And this one, there's nothing in it right now. So this is very good tool to be able to test the write and the read for the tag. So I already launched my Sysmax Studio, and what I will show you next is how to configure the V600S RFID system into the project and IP connection setting. Okay, and what you want to do is click on this icon here, and what you want to do next is to add your V680S RFID system. I already added here, but this is the step that you want to carry out. So you want to click add, and then what you want to do is select model name, and you want to drag down until you see V680S. In my demo, the setup I have here, I have a V680S-HMD64. You notice there are 3 different models. The 63 has a smaller head. This is the medium antenna, and the 66 has a biggest antenna. So I'm going to select this. You're going to give it the IP address. In my case, it can be 192.168.250.100. Version would be 1, and then you click add. I'm not going to do it because I already have it, so I'm going to cancel out of this. Okay. The next thing, what you want to do is to click on this connections, and in here, actually what you need to do first is also create a global tag, and one of them is the tag would be from underscore V680S_EIP. The output tag would be to underscore V680S_EIP, and you want to select the target variable to be 110 for the from underscore V680S_EIP. The target variable for the to underscore V680S_EIP, you want to select 100. So once you've done that, you go online and you transfer. So to go online, I already went over this on previous video. This is where you click the icon and then you click transfer to controller, and that basically will take care for the Ethernet IP configuration. What I'm going to show you next is how to insert the library of these function blocks. So to do that, you want to click on project. Actually, you need to go offline first. And I'm going to close this out. So you want to go project, library, show references, and then I already installed it. But once you get the library file that has the .slr, you click this plus icon and you browse to that folder. This is the folder that I have it. So I click on that. So here's the library. So there are 4 different library function block available. One is to read and write 40 bytes. One is to 64 bytes. One is 520 bytes. Last but not least, 132 bytes read and write. For me, I'm going to use the 40 bytes library function block, and I'm going to click open. If you do it the first time, this is what you have to do. So I'm going to cancel out of it. I just want to show you that. Once you install the library successfully, if you click on the function, this is what brought in once you installed it successfully. All these function block is now part of your tool on this side. And also all the structure comes with it as well. I'm going to go through these function blocks so you can see what's going on here. So I'm going to zoom it in a little bit. This first function block is read RFID. And what that does is allows you to read the content on the tag and bring it into the NJ501 1320 PLC. What you need here is global tag that you created that's coming from the Ethernet IP tools. For from_V680S, I use that global tag that I created earlier. So that's from_V680S_EIP. For to_V680S, I use that global tag to_V680S_EIP. Then you will see this a lot later on for all the function blocks. So to execute this, I just have a contact to execute the read RFID. And this contact can be a gate sensor, so that when the product in front of the antenna, the sensor comes on and it basically executes this function block. Now, you notice on here, star page. Star page, basically, where do you want to read the data in the tag itself? So for me, I'm going to just start it at 0. Also, number of pages, basically number of bytes that you want to read. So page in this case equivalent to byte, how many bytes you want to read. So that's why I have another global variable here, so I can specify that. So as soon as I execute this, the data contained in the tag will display under tag data variable that I created here. If I have any error when I execute this, as I mentioned before, physically on the V680S, you see the LED. Red is when there's an error. Green when you have a successful communications. So if it's red, it will give you a little bit more what kind of error you have here. And I tie that which error to a variable called read error. So that's how the read RFID function block set up. And if you come here, this is the function block that I'm using. So you just drag it over here and you give it an instant name. In this case, I name it read RFID. So that's for read RFID. The next one here is get the model. If I want to see what model of the V680S that I'm using, remember I showed you there are 3 different models. One is the 63, ends with the 63, 64, and 66. So if I set this up and I execute it, the model will come back and show me under this variable name model. And the other tag is similar to what you see up here under the read RFID function block. Let me continue on down here. So if I want to write the data into the RFID tag, I use the write tag data. And I drag it over here and I define all the variable that needs it here. And same thing, what address you want to start writing to the tag. In this case, we call it page. And this variable here is the data to write. And basically it's the string that I created here, the variable str data to write. So when I ready to write to the tag, I can populate this string tag with the data. And when I execute this write data, whatever I set up here, it will automatically return to the tag. This function block is to read unique identification for that particular tag. Every single tag has a unique ID in it. So this function block allows you to read that unique identification. This function block is read tag ID. So you drag it over and you give it a variable. In this case, it's a word. I give it a W actual ID. Okay, so once the tag is in front of it, and if I execute this read ID tag, it will show that unique identification number for that particular tag. this function block I have in here basically allow me to fill whatever the data that I want to put in. For example, if I want to zero the tag itself, basically initialize all the data or rewrite the value 0, what I can do is to specify the beginning of that address, start page, number of words, what data I want to write to that range. So that's what this function block is for. And as soon as I click this, write 0, and let's say I put 0 in here, it will write 0 to the tag for the range that I specified here. So that's what the tag data field function block is for. So what I'm going to do next is to go online and show you how this works. So I'm going to click this icon to go online. So if I have the tag right now in front of the antenna, I'm going to execute this bit. So just think of this contact is the sensor, and it sees the product, and the sensor is gonna turn on. It's gonna execute this, and what I see here, okay, there's no error. The tag itself has no data in it. I'm gonna put another product in front of the antenna. I'm gonna turn it back on again, and voila, I have 59877, which is the data on that tag. So that's the read RFID model of the V680S here. I'm going to execute this. So that's the data showing V680S. Let me do it again. -HMD64-EIP. So that's getting the model. If I wanted to see what is the unique identification, this tag right now, I'm going to turn it off here. So what you see here, I'm going to execute it. So the unique identification for this tag is E0040150 F04CED20. Now I'm going to put another one on here. Let's read it again. Everything the same except for the last 8 digits. It's F04C F7EC. So you can see each tag itself has its own identification number. Well, let's check out the RFID write. Okay. So let's say I want to write 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. As soon as I execute this write data bit, it writes the data to the tag, and it's a normal end. So let's verify what we just wrote to the tag. So I'm going to go ahead and execute this read here. Turn it off, and voila, we see 987654332. So that's how the RFID, the V680S RFID system works, and how to set it up. All the hard work already done. And so if you have any questions on this and have any application that you want to discuss with us, give us a call. And thank you for watching.